The topic is powers and duties of auditor. Guys, section 143 of Companies Act 2013 contains the provision relating to the powers and duties of auditors. So the main power vested in auditors are: number 1, access to books, accounts and vouchers. Every auditor of a company has a right to access at all times of the books and accounts and vouchers of the company. Number 2, obtain information and explanation. He may require from any officer of the company any information which he thinks necessary for proper discharge of his duty as an auditor. That means auditor may ask any person any information which auditor may think that it is necessary for discharging his duty as auditor. In Re Bhavnagar Vegetable Products 1977, the High Court of Gujarat held that this power continues even after winding up of a company has commenced and a liquidator has been appointed by the court. In this particular case, it was decided by the Gujarat High Court that even after the company has been closed down or winding up or liquidated, then even after that also the company has to give answers to the auditor. The articles of the company cannot preclude the auditor from exercising his power. So whatever the power has been vested to the auditor, even an article of association of a company cannot prevent exercise of such power. Number 3, to sign the audit report. Section 145 of the Act 2013 provides that only the person appointed as auditor of the company, or where a firm is so appointed, only a partner in the firm practicing in India may sign the auditor's report or authenticate any document of the company required by law to be signed or authenticated by the auditor. Thus, an auditor has to check the accuracy of the account. So, it is stated in the 145 section of 2013 Act, Companies Act, that only person appointed as auditor of the company or where a firm is so appointed, only partner in the firm practicing in India may sign the auditor's report. Only person who is appointed as auditor can sign the auditor report or authenticate any document of the company which is required by law to be signed or authenticated by the auditor. Number 4, to receive notice of general meeting and notice to attend general meeting. The auditor is entitled to attend any part of the business which concerns him as an auditor. All notices of and other communication relating to any general meeting of a company which any member of a company is entitled to have sent to him shall also be forwarded to the auditor of the company. Where the company fails to send notices and communication to its auditors, the official committing this default may be fined which may extend to 5,000 rupees. Number 5, to visit branch office of the company and have the access to books of accounts. Where the accounts of any branch office are audited by a person other than the company's auditor, the company's auditor shall be entitled to visit the branch office if he deems it necessary to do so for proper discharge of his duties. The auditor shall have access to at all times to the books and accounts and vouchers of the company maintained in the branch office. Number 6, to inform the central government about any fraud involving more than a prescribed amount, or to inform audit committee constituted under section 177 or to the board of a fraud involving lesser than the specified amount is being committed against the company. Section 143 as amended by the Companies Amendment Act 2015. Number 7, to inspect minute books of the board. The auditor shall have the power to inspect the minute book of the board meeting and satisfy himself that necessary sanctions have been taken. So we have discussed about the power of the auditors. So let's talk about duties of auditor. An auditor is under a statutory obligation to protect shareholders and investors and to make a report to the members on all the important matters which he considers very important. Section 143 Clause 1 of the Companies Act 2013 requires an auditor to inquire whether book entry transactions are prejudicial to the interest of the company, whether loans and advances made by the company have been shown as deposits, whether personal expense have been charged to revenue account. According to Section 142 Clause 2 of the Companies Act 2013, it is duty of the auditor to make a report to the members of the company on accounts audited by him, on every balance sheet, profit and loss account which are laid before the company in annual general meeting during his tenure of the office. Number 1, that in his opinion and to the best of his information and according to the explanation given to him, the accounts give the information required by the Act in the manner as required. Number 2, that the financial statement, balance sheet, profit and loss account gives the true and fair view of the company's affair at the end of the financial year. Number 3, that he has obtained all necessary information and explanations required by him for the purpose of audit. Section 143 clause 4 of the Companies Act 2013 further states that where any of the above matters are answered in negative or with qualification, the auditor report must state the reason for such answer. The comment or observation of auditor on financial transaction or matters which have an adverse effect on functioning of the company. According to section 162 clause 2 of the Companies Act 2013, whether any director of the company is disqualified to be appointed as director. According to section 146 of the Companies Act 2013, auditor's report has to be read before the company in general meeting and is open to inspection for any member of the company. The section further prescribes that the auditor is entitled to attend the annual general meeting and he is to be heard on any part of the business which concerns him as an auditor.